boys and girls, we've learned a new type of four-step process action, which is the compare action. So let's review with our parents real quick before we get started on what does put together look like. Looks like this. That's right. We put two things together. What about takeaway? That's right. Something goes away. Thank you. And then compare. That's when we see and hear words like more than and fewer than, and those are very important clue words that tell us that we're going to compare, and that's what we need to do to solve our problem. So put your markers away for me. Just drop them, and that way we're ready. We're all ready to listen. And let me write a math story for us. I'm going to go back to the pumpkin patch. This time I'm taking some other friends with me. I'm taking Selena, picked 12 pumpkins. Wow, Selena, that's a lot of pumpkins. And Jaden. And Jaden, I'm sorry, Jaden, but your pumpkins were really big, like Nathan's pumpkins, so you didn't get quite as many. Jaden picked 7 pumpkins. That's still a lot. Okay. Now watch for the words in our story. You ready? How many? I'm going to use a different word. We've talked about it, but we haven't used it before. Fewer. Talk to somebody next to you about what fewer means. Right. Who picked fewer?
Jaden.
Okay, so how many fewer pumpkins did Jaden pick
Then Selena.
Selena? All right. We've read our story. We wrote it together. Go ahead and cap your markers, please. We're not quite ready to write. Just time to listen. Thank you. Selena picked 12 pumpkins. Jaden picked 7 pumpkins. How many fewer pumpkins did Jaden pick than Selena? Let's find our main idea. Circle that.
Question mark.
Underline.
Backward.
Stop it there.
Period.
Ooh, it's way over here. Cross out.
How
You had a good one?
many
I think I'm good. Thank you.
No,
And
this
circle
ain't
the.
working.
important words?
All right, see if this one works. Can you catch? Awesome. Fewer. Fewer, is that important? Yes. Pumpkins.
Yes.
Did
No.
Jaden
Yes.
pick
Yes.
Van
Yes.
Selena?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of words. That's okay. I'll show you a trick. Now look here. Fewer and than are together. Just like a minute ago we talked about more than being together. This is huge. This tells us that we're going to what?
Compare.
It tells us that we're going to compare. Say compare to somebody next to you, please.
Compare.
Now, I don't want you to spend time writing this just because our parents are waiting for us to get to this part right here. I'm going to write it, and you're going to cap your markers and watch. Are you ready? You're just watching. Fewer pumpkins. J. Can I do that?
Yes.
Pick.
An S for Selena.
And an S for Selena.
Selena.
And then I'm going to go back and circle fewer than. Do you remember why?
Why? Because they're important.
They're important words, and they tell us that we're going to do what?
Compare.
Absolutely. Now, oh, let me go back to one thing real quick. J and S. J for Jaden, S for Selena. Can I put a P for pumpkins?
No.
I can only shorten the names. Make sure that you remember that when you're doing your homework. All right. Model drawing. This is where things get a little bit different, so pay attention. Selena picked 12 pumpkins. Who?
Selena.
What?
Pumpkin.
How many?
12.
All right, do you want to do this with me? You can go ahead and start writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to go back and double check. 12 is a big number. I've got to make sure I got the right number of circles here. And I'm ready for my label. Good. Jaden picked 7 pumpkins. Who? J for Jaden. What? Pumpkins. P for pumpkins. How many? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to label. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boys and girls, check the charts. How do we show in our model drawing that we're comparing? Can you tell somebody next to you?
Give them
What do
a
we do?
buddy.
That's right. Give
Give
everybody a buddy.
It also has 5.
Bracket and question mark. What's left? How many circles are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is our answer. We need a number sentence to match our model drawing. How do we get to 5 from 12 and 7? We can't add them together. We would get 19. So what do we have to do?
Bracket.
We have to subtract. 12 subtract 7 equals 5. 5 is the diff. Don't forget to label it. How do we get our answer? We subtract. You can shorten that to 7. Awesome job, everybody.